Hi all, this is Dr. J speaking live from Long Island, New York with my buddy Professor Spike who's having audio difficulties. And Magnificent Dancer is with us, first one to arrive, and I'm waiting for the re-arrival of Professor Spike. Dustin's with us today. How are you, Dustin? Haven't seen you in a while. How's it going? You making money, Dustin? What are you into these days? I like when people tell me how much money they're making. That's great. That's the goal for everybody to make money. One thing about the stock market, if you make money and somebody else makes money, that's great. It's not like poker where if you make money, somebody else loses money. I don't like that too much. All right, we got to put a Band-Aid on CODX and BCRX for Jiggly's sake. That's what we're going to do. We're going to put a Band-Aid on it. Jiggly, I told Professor Spike that you love him except for his haircuts and audio problems. Let's see if he gets over the audio problems. Hey, Linda.
Professor Spike does not like StreamYard. As usual.
No, you're fine
Professor
now.
Spike does not like StreamYard.
You're fine, except we only see your shirt and not your head.
All right.
All right. Let's see what's going on with you. Now I got a whole picture of you. And that's, yeah, all right. You know what? You figure it out. We're going to go right into the charts.
Okay.
APT dipped rather low into low 12s. I'll tell you what I've been doing.
APT was very disappointing.
I've been selling some and buying late with the money. So I'm
Smart move.
shifting out of APT into late. But I still have a sizable amount of APT. Too much. I do like Athlon. I refuse to sell it even though I told everybody it's going to $1.35. I told Jake, I told Spike, I told my viewers, but I said I'm going to keep it anyway because I like Dr. Tim Rodell and I think it's a good company.
You told your dog.
I'm willing to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous misfortune. Dustin would like MSOS. Can you remember that?
Yes.
All right. Good news with BCRX, and it dips down anyway. I think the good news was a patent. Not good enough. Whatever the news wasn't good enough. We're going to go into chest drain because we got 40 minutes to do at least 12 bucks. You can entertain everybody.
Well, you get on. Well, now that everybody could hear me, I suppose.
No, you're coming in loud and clear now.
All right, perfectly. Good. Well, like I said, I like my fans to like me, but when they say, "Oh, I like Professor Spike, but his sound is bad or his technology is bad," it's like it's the way things
that's
happen.
what you get. You got a lot of people ranking on your audio technology.
Yeah, now, Dr. J, before you get to the charts, get rid of Kevin Hardcastle's comment.
What are you scheduled?
I said get rid of the comment.
Kevin?
So you can see the charts better. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for commenting that. I'm holding two. There we go. All
All
right, so you
right,
get to
let's
see
do
me in my ugly punum.
co-diagnostics. I said
Co-diagnostics.
Friday. When did I tell you I got out of it totally? Was it Friday or Wednesday or when?
Yes, you got out of it you've been out of it for about a week now.
Something like that, yeah. It doesn't look like I got out of it early enough, but at least I got out of it. And basically, I've been saying this in recent shows that it's an overcrowded space. And
Right.
the Abbott news put all these other test companies over the top. Took a hit with the Abbott news. Now,
Right. So this is
Abbott
the story of the best thing, not necessarily being the most profitable thing. It's another Betamax story, because
yeah,
everybody says that their test is superior, but
right, because
that doesn't mean anything.
Abbott has a tremendous amount of false negatives.
Right. So you could be right or you could be happy. And
Yeah.
I guess us being right proves that adage.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to listen to the market when it's telling you something. That's why I got out of it.
Understood. I'm still in. I'm going to take the ride. Hopefully, I'll take the ride back up a little bit.
I moved a lot of that money into NWBO, which paid off big time. So far, I did the right thing. It's just dipping every day. It's a horrible looking chart.
And that downturn, right? That downturn from today and yesterday definitely put the nail in the coffin, doesn't it?
It's just awful.
Yeah.
It
was supposed to bounce. It was supposed to bounce off of that line.
Look at this. This big candle has to hold. I mean, I can't conceive that it won't. That's all the way down to 437. It can't. Let's say.
Bite your tongue, Dr. J.
I'll tell you where it'll probably stop. The midpoint of this big green candle.
Right.
So let's draw it. It's like someone sounded the trumpets that COVID-19 epidemic is over.
Right. You think?
We know is false.
Right, and people still talking testing.
You know, it could go to $7 according to this.
Right.
That would still be a nasty drop. But that's where strong support is. Look, you got this hit, you got the close here, you got the midpoint of this big red green candle. So this looks like a likely spot. The low is 681.
Yeah, there's a technical term for that. It's called yucky poo.
Well, also, besides yucky poo, you have the high of the day, the close on that day might prove to be significant as well. So let's just draw that, which is about 732. Actually, 746.
Mm-hmm.
So figure somewhere around 750 to 680 is a very likely stopping point.
Yeah, one would hope.
I mean,
one would hope it doesn't even test that.
This is an example of a falling knife. It's just excruciating pain.
Yeah.
You want to get out of the way. Now,
if you were holding any of this, what would you be doing?
If I still were holding it?
Yes, like somebody I know.
I don't know. If I was still holding it, how much of it was I holding? It depends. If I'm holding a small amount, I might just hold it.
Right.
And if I was holding a large amount, I might sell it out.
I'm with you. I get that.
But unfortunately, I got out not much better. I got out, I think, mid-11s. I was no genius on this.
No, exactly. I mean, the whole idea here was that this was supposed to be something. This hit the mid-20s just before earnings. And I'm hoping that before earnings, it at least comes back closer to 20.
Personally, I didn't get hurt too bad because I sold some at 30, some at 27 and a half, 30 and a half. And then I sold an equal amount at like 11. So it averages out.
Yep, you win some, you win some. You win some, then you get winsome.
Basically, I broke even on trade when I was way ahead. So I'm no genius on this one.
All right, so remember you had
I know.
MS.
Do I know? MSOS is on the agenda. I know. Do I know? What do I know? I'll tell you why I bought it today.
Which one did you, I know.
Yeah, don't tell Jake that I bought it because he's got a thing against Dr. Kim and he thinks he's a con man and the whole company's a con and so on. I don't agree. I know it's been 30 years they never came to market with a product and that doesn't look too good. But I don't think they're a con. I think they're very slow moving. No, seriously, I think that they have a chance on this COVID vaccine to come from behind like a stretch run at the Kentucky Derby, which is coming up on Saturday.
Right.
I'll tell you, my pick says 7, 10, 16 to beat the favorite, the 17. To beat Tis the Law at 1 to 5. I'm playing.
Yeah, 1 to 5. Why even bother?
I'm playing Fletcher's horse with the Castellano. I'm playing Mike Smith's horse. Mike Smith is up on, forget which trainer. Baffert is using Florent Giroux on the 10. I'm playing that one. And the trainer of the 16, I don't remember. All right, anyway, that's my Kentucky Derby.
All right. From Dr. J's mouth to everybody else's ear.
Yeah, of course, Tis the Law probably win by 20 lengths. But.
You know, did you know that the U.S. Open is actually happening now?
Nobody knows what's happening anymore because everything's been messed up.
I used to love going to the U.S. Open live.
I don't remember basketball playoffs in September, do you?
7, 10, 16 exacta box, Dustin says. That's smart. That's probably the smart money.
What does he say?
He says go with the exacta box.
7, 10, 16, my long shots, and throw out the favorite altogether? I don't know about that.
Depends on how much money you want to spend. If you could throw the 1 in there on an exacta box. And then if you do that, that's
I'd have to box 4 horses. For $1, that's only $12.
Well, it's actually 4 pizzas, so it's $12. Yes, you're right.
Why did I wait for today to go in? Believe it or not, what got me to go in is the $1 off sale due to Muddy Waters shorting the stock and announcing that they're short the stock to 0. So I love that. I love when
it's like a challenge.
Yeah, I love it. You don't know how many times I've made money going contrary to a big short position. I don't know why, what it is. There's some kind of dynamic involved in that where they seldom win on those when they announce their big short, they seldom win. And I go the other way. Through the years, I found that I made much more than I lost doing that. And do they have a chance to come from behind? Yes, they do. They have excellent results on the vaccine. Plus, they have other vaccines. So, and also, I like the platform. The delivery system is excellent. They have a Star Trekian device. You don't get a needle, an injection. You just get something on like a field pulsation on the skin.
Right.
Like Star Trek, you get a shot It doesn't hurt. You just
Right. It just sort of diffuses its way into your body.
yeah, it goes through your pores, whatever.
Right. Yeah. No,
So,
I love when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I used to get jealous watching people take their shots that way.
so do I like the chart? No, I don't like the chart. But there is support right below where where I bought it. There's support right about here. That would be 953. So what can I lose? I paid like 1050. I could lose a buck. I'm out
Right.
below 50. I'll take a flyer on it.
You know, the casinos are closed, so you might as well do this.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go crazy, and if it goes down tomorrow, I'll buy a little more.
Gotcha. All right. Since we're short on
Now, I
time,
did take a nice position. I did take a nice position on NW Friday. I know to everybody that I did announce it and I tweeted it.
Casinos
So I
are up and
tweeted
jiggly.
it,
I know they're
announced
open,
it,
but not
but I
today.
didn't chart it. And I talked. And I talked about it, Professor Spike. So I did, I advised everybody that I was in it, which is all I can do. I don't tell anybody what to do. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I just tell
exactly.
people
Well,
what
yeah,
I.
that looks like one of you, that looks like one of your winners. Then there you go. And yes,
Well,
yes,
what I did.
you have been bugling about this one, and so there is no excuse.
No, I bought it originally at 16 cents, 18 cents, 14 cents. I'm not sure. Sold it. I sold it at 39 and a half pennies. Very close to the old high. And then when it dipped back to the low 30s a couple of days ago, I bought it at 33. And I had an order in for sell half at 53 and change. I mean, I had it in at 53, but somehow I got more, a little bit more. So it worked out. I basically can't lose on the rest of it. Can only lose a small fraction. And I'm writing it out. They have phase 3 data coming due any day now, like CBM.
Really?
So,
And what are these guys in?
And they're into now what are they into again? I think they're immunotherapy. I forget the indication. Glioblast. What do you call it? Glioblastoma. The brain. What do you call that?
Glioblastoma.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. That's what they're into. And there's an unmet need and so on. I believe Keytruda is in this area, but there's always room for more.
Well, eyes on the money's with you on this one.
Yeah, I really like this one. I'm going to let the rest of it ride, looking for $3 on the rest of it. That's my price target. So, if it goes back to 33 pennies, I'll probably sell. But where I should advise people that if I were to add more, I'd probably be looking to add more right around here at $48.
48 cents.
48 cents.
Yeah.
Dollars, cents, whatever.
Well, when you multiply by 1,000.
Yeah, what's it? 48 something, whatever.
48 units.
Yeah.
Now, since you're talking about Star Trek, there's 20. You could call them quatloos.
What's funny about Star Trek?
No, I said in Star Trek the currency was quatloos.
Oh yeah. What was your favorite, Kirk or Picard?
I started liking Picard a lot better, and then of the series, my favorite is Deep Space Nine.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, there's a lot of depth to that one. A lot of layers.
Was that the woman captain Deep Space
No,
Nine?
that was Voyager, I think that was. No, Deep
Oh,
Space Nine. It's Captain Sisko.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, Confucius up with us on that one.
Yeah. Look at this Zoom channel that we're in on Prothena.
Now, where did this one come from? Have we talked about this one before?
No, I own it, and today I decided to add
Gotcha. And what are these guys into?
Parkinson's drug. They have a drug that will blast the alpha-synuclein protein out of your body before it can clog up your dopamine-producing cells in the brain.
Uh-huh.
And it's for early stage Parkinson's. It may be too late for me, but I'm investing in it. I should have gone for the trial. I believe in this company.
Uh-huh.
They're a little bit, they're not phase 3, I don't think. I think they're only phase 2. So they're
Proof of
ways off.
concept.
Yeah, they're ways off, but I have great hopes for them. And I don't have a big investment, but I added today because I like the chart.
Well, I guess, yeah, it looks like it's poised.
Yes, I really
I mean,
like the
and those upward trend channels that you have going, if they actually are meaningful.
There are three of them, 3 upward trend channels.
Right.
And the
Yeah,
main
no,
one,
if they're meaningful, then you got to move very soon.
well, yeah, it's at the lower end of the middle one. So I really like it. I mean, it could dip all the way down to the bottom one, $11. But so what?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the end of the world if it does.
It's only money.
So I own a little of this, and I probably will add to this slowly. It looks like you got time, even though it made a hell of a move. But I think it's going up slowly.
Thank you, Pete.
LCA is one of our regulars. Asked us to look at this.
Right. Remember that we had a request for what was it? MSO.
MSOS, right?
Right, MSOS. So I just wanted to make sure you remember that. And then we have the usual requests for our usuals. CODX. We just we talked about BCRX and any of those guys. And of course we talked a little bit about Lake and APT already. But yeah, this is another new one. I guess this is the day for it.
This one had a very nice move, this SPAQ. This is a SPAQ that's going to bring Golden Nugget online gambling public. Symbols GNOG.
Huh.
And you know what happened when DraftKings went public? It doubled.
Yes.
This one is already profitable. DraftKings is not. So there's a lot of fundamentals here, and the chart is pretty damn good too. So I almost pulled the trigger on it today, but I want to wait for tomorrow, maybe a little pullback. So I do intend to buy a little. No guarantee I will, but I intend to.
Right. You may change your mind when it comes down to pressing the button.
Yeah, you never know. I get distracted. I forget about it. If I'm not a full-time player. I'm just like part-time player.
Gotcha.
So if I buy it, I buy it. I don't buy it, I don't buy it. I'm a part-time player who's having a good year.
Now,
mainly due to Amazon. Mainly due to Amazon and Walmart.
Yeah, right. So you're playing with house money.
And with my biotechs, I'd have to figure it out and compute it, how much I'm ahead. Probably not that much.
Yeah, but it's been a fun game.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Believe me, I understand the appeal of it because it is so volatile, and you know, it really does swing with momentum. So it's a little bit.
I did have some nice winners, APT to 40 earlier.
Yeah.
I had
Keep throwing.
I caught a few runners, but
yeah, no, I bought ATP also, APT also. I just didn't sell it. It was at 40. I'm stuck with that locks.
CVM looks like it's running.
Now, he was supposed to be having a conversation today or a presentation today.
Yesterday.
And how did that go?
Same old Gert.
Yeah, but it looks like it didn't really kill the stock price. People thinking that the stock price might have got hurt a bit afterwards.
In all the years I'm playing stocks, I've never heard an announcement of a major import at a conference.
Gotcha.
People were expecting them to drop the data bomb at the conference.
No, or just hint at some good news. But most people knew that wasn't going to happen.
You would hope.
Well, you know, we were all none of us bought or sold just beforehand in anticipation.
Right. None of us, but plenty of people did.
Well, none of us. I meant me and you.
I tell you, buying any time in the last 3 weeks would have been a good move.
Sure.
And I think until otherwise, it looks like it's going to run. Maybe it pulls back to the trend line at 13.
Well, again, it's that whole 11 and change, 14 range.
What is it trading at now? It's trading at the low in days. It closed at 13.
Well,
Why does it say 1254?
Do you have the right chart?
Pay no attention to 1254.
Pay no attention. Yeah, it should be higher than this. That did look like a low price.
It closed at 13 something.
Yeah, because it was closer to that. It was closer to that 14 ceiling that, you know, for a lot of people was a signal if you're gonna like play the channel.
1388, and look where it stopped. Right.
Ramesh said 1392 is what Ramesh says.
Look where it stopped, right in the middle of that green candle from the day before. I love these 50% pullbacks on the big green candle. And the bottom to me looks like the lower end of the channels, which should be about 13. So not 1254. This is a mistake. I don't know. Yahoo, no wonder Yahoo got sold. Who owns Yahoo? Microsoft?
I'm not sure.
Somebody bought them. Not doing a great job, whoever bought them.
Well, Ramesh says after hours, sell probably went above 14.
Yeah, looks like a Dr. J, buy. And I may buy some more because it looks like before data, it's going to continue to run. We said this earlier on an earlier show last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's likely to run to 15. I think
we said we were happy with its upward trend.
Yeah, but I think 15 might be a low number, so at least 15. It hit 1430 today.
Let's just say goodbye to Yo 11, hopefully.
Yeah. All right. So let's do that MSOS.
Yeah, let's do that one, and then a couple of our usual stalwarts. Now, what is MSOS anyway?
I don't know. I don't know the stock. ARCA? I don't know what it is.
Let's see if it's in the conversation at all.
Yahoo is loading very slow.
Oh, it said MSOS started trading today. So there's probably not a lot of history then.
And I can't see anything from the chart.
Right, there is, because there's nothing to chart.
You know what? Tell whoever asked for that.
That was Dustin.
Tell Dustin to tell us a statement or two, a line or two, what it's all about.
Yeah, give us an idea, Dustin, what we're talking about. So in the meantime, people are asking about Neo. And like I said,
Neo is, people want to rub it in. Neo, it hurts. I
yes.
sold it at 7.
Yeah, no, I never played that one at all.
I was so happy. Oh, stuff, Professor Spike, I was very happy when I sold it at 7. I more than doubled.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not happy anymore.
What a coulda, shoulda.
Now this stock, Athesis,
Athesis
I threatened the company that it better not close below the close from the day the short rate occurred.
right.
That was 280. What was that close? 197.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't close below that, but I
No,
think
it
it
did
went.
not.
Did it go below that? 196. It went below that, but it didn't close below that. So we'll give it another chance. Now I do think if it closes below the old that particular number, that we're going to test this bottom that was made that day. So that's the problem. That's why I didn't want to close below this close. If it closes below 197, I think we'll look at 6.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and if 156 doesn't hold, we're looking back at the lows at $1.15, something like that.
All right, now let's suppose that this is still a good stock long term, like by January, February next year. You're saying there might be an opportunity to buy in around $1.50.
The problem is they keep pushing back dates of when things are due. It's like your students, Professor Spike. They always push back their homework date.
Yeah.
Date, whatever.
That's because I'm too lenient.
Yeah, well, the investors are not as lenient as you are.
Right, they get impatient. They don't like losing their money.
Yeah.
Or keeping or there's opportunity cost. There's money tied up in ATHX, which could be going into Walmart.
I worry about 156. I think it holds. I think maybe the 200 it went past it.
Right, it went down past that.
I'm very, very nervous about it going to 156. And then if it gets to that level, I'm very nervous about it holding 156. Short term, without some catalyst where the price is going to drift down. Now, what catalyst could there be? There could be a European partner, or just a partner in general on Masters 2, on the stroke trial.
Mm-hmm.
There could be a partner on odds. BARDA could come through with funding. NIH could come through with funding.
Right.
What other catalysts could there be? The 5-patient COVID trial in Japan could be very strong. All 5 people got better. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here.
So it seems.
I don't know.
I guess, the question is, right, do we come back in at 150? Or do we just give it?
We're looking at 6 months before we get meaningful stroke data.
Gotcha.
First quarter of 2021.
Well, Dustin told us about what MSOS does. He said that they're a marijuana ETF. It's the first really? US only marijuana ETF.
Oh, really?
Yes. They're voting on decriminalization. Who's voting on decriminalization? Somebody's voting on decriminalization of marijuana.
I really think that state by state, you're going to see at least liberalization.
I don't even think that's an appropriate liberal position. That's more a, one of those libertarian kind of positions. As a liberal, sometimes you think, Well, shouldn't the government get involved in making sure people don't drive stoned? So it's
No, you
hard
know
to
what it
label that. It's
is?
hard to label that business.
We all need money. New York State needs money, man.
Yeah.
Tax the marijuana business.
Right. Tax gambling, tax marijuana. These were the things that used to be illegal.
Yeah, and then all that's left is prostitution.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say that's probably coming down the pike. But it'll have to be men.
We like Lake. We like Lake.
Yes, we like Lake.
Lake is holding up.
Well, earnings are in about 9 days, if not less.
September the 9th.
So it's even sooner. And yeah, so hopefully maybe either just before or at earnings, we get a nice little pop.
It's not the greatest candle today, but I'll take it because it's.
Well, what happened? That big red drop that we had a couple days ago. What was all that about?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Short attack.
I guess.
The thing that I don't like is it came after about 12 days straight up. And what I don't like is that you get that big red candle. It's the opposite of my favorite candle, the big green candle after a big decline. You
Right.
have an uptrend, big red candle, maybe it comes back midway and then starts going down again. Well,
Right.
guess what? It came back midway. So we got to wait for tomorrow to see what happens.
Well, time's a wasting. Because, what's going to happen before earnings?
I have a nice big fat position on Lake, so
yeah, no, as do I.
I'm watching.
I'm hoping with my fingers crossed.
We
got 1 or 2 requests for SPAQ for SPAQ.
Okay.
So we might as well do that since it's taking up my whole screen.
It's another EV maker.
Right, we discussed it last week. Yes.
Electric vehicle maker.
Magnificent Answer is very bullish on this guy.
I hope he's right, because Dr. J is now doubled his position. I doubled my position 3 days ago.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like it's got a nice little upward trend going.
It does. I don't even have to bother drawing the line because it's hugging the 50. It's a trend line. The 50 is providing support.
And today was a good day for it. Do you think it's going to fill that gap for buying, for an opportunity to get in?
I don't know. If the EV stocks have new momentum, look out. Yeah. It may not.
I get you. I mean, because everybody's talking. They're still talking about, all the electric vehicles.
If it fills the gap, there really isn't a gap. There's not a real big gap, unless you look back. Unless the upward gap which it filled. There's really not a gap. I don't call this a gap.
Okay.
Because it came down to 1360 to close, was 1384. So it went. No, that's not.
No. Okay. Fair enough.
It's close enough. Let's say there's no gap.
Yeah. Okay. And there's still some upward potential. It looks like.
Oh yeah, you're kidding? It's veering away from the 9-day. It's pulling away. It's like a horse pulling away in the stretch.
Bring it back down to the Kentucky Derby again, are we?
It looks like it's going parabolic. No, it certainly does look strong. The chart looks very strong. There's a chart that doesn't look strong. But the good news is, there is good news. It stopped right at where it should stop. There's a lot of support along this line. It pulled back after a big sell-off. It closed okay. I would have liked to see it close green, even though it's a tiny little body. It still closed red, but it had some good action. It has a bigger bottom shadow than a top shadow. It's not a terrible doji. I don't like dojis, but I'll take it in this position, in this particular case.
Look, Lake is going to have their earnings, and our guess here is that at least in sympathy, there's going to be a pop here. I'm just hoping the pop gets close to 20.
You notice it was a doji on Lake. There's a doji on APT. I think you'll see another doji on both of them tomorrow. Let's hope that doji is slightly above. I think there's a little indecision now on both of them, considering the sell-off that this one had.
Yeah, but everybody knows that this talk about vaccines is bloviation.
I think APT will be okay. It's just scary as all hell if you own it.
Yeah. Yes. Not as scary as CODX, but pretty scary. And people wanted to see us talk about BCRX also, since we're on those subjects. And I think that's ready. You have
CODX is beyond. It's beyond scary.
Yes, it is.
It's too late to get.
Right. Now it's just time to bury it.
By now, if you still own Co-Diagnostics, you're not scared anymore. You're just numb. So you don't feel the pain anymore. That's what happens at some point.
Now, what's this guy?
Myelofibrosis, MF.
Oh, okay.
I took the trouble to look it up because one of our followers has apparently a big position, and so is Geron into MF. I think their big competition, I think, is Insight, if I remember correctly. I'm going by memory. Insight Pharmaceuticals has a JAK inhibitor for MF. It affects the bone marrow, causing fibrosis of the bone marrow. It's a blood-borne cancer. And they're using, I think they're using a JAK inhibitor as well. I'm not sure. But the interesting thing is they're testing it on COVID-19.
Right. There's also, I know for multiple myeloma, there's another antibody that's starting to get popular there.
Yeah. So, yeah, this one, it's a good place to enter if you think that they have a promising drug, because I mean, it's not going to go to zero, I don't think. So it's come down a lot, and it's got support right about where it is. So if you like this one, I forgot the name of the fellow who asked me to do it. But if you like this one, this looks like a good place to add or buy or go in. I know it's frightening in a way because it's straight down.
Yeah, it's got that downward trend. But
it's not going to go down forever. And 95 cents would, if you want a swing trade, 95 cents. Let's say you give it a little below that. 92 cents could be a stop loss.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not familiar enough with the fundamentals, but the chart, even though it looks scary, I think it's okay for a gamble.
Okay. I think since we only have a minute left, the last one people want to talk about is BCRX and Sorrento.
Yeah. Okay.
But Sorrento, we don't have to show. We can just talk about Sorrento. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's 5 minutes. So I don't want to go more than 45 minutes. So this is it.
So while we're waiting for this to load, do you have any thoughts about Sorrento?
Yeah, Sorrento, again, you got your doubts. They're buying a company and so on and so forth. And maybe one day there'll be a legitimate company. Right now, there's lots of questions about their legitimacy. So I agree with Jake. It's one in the vast universe of stocks. It's one I choose not to own.
Right. You could leave it alone and still make your money.
Yeah, I'll make my money elsewhere.
Gotcha. Speaking of which,
this one went below key level of support, but it got saved by the bell. It held this low. You see the low on 5.7. It held 5.7's low of 377. The low today was 3. Oh, it didn't hold it. 370. No. But it came back up. It bounced off of it, so it's okay. In other words, if it goes below the low and comes up on the day, that's actually a good sign. So I like this candle. Nice candle, believe it or not. If you have a long downtrend and you get a candle like this, it's not bad at all. Look at the last time we had a candle like this on 8.7. Did we go up? Yes, we had a nice trend.
Exactly.
So this is not a bad looking candle to Dr. J. So I'm not crazy about the chart, certainly, but I haven't sold any.
Right.
Because
we've been saying all along, this isn't something that we've been trading on the technicals.
Well, to a certain extent. Earlier I did, and then I decided to go back in. I'm not going to go crazy on this one ever on my position. I shouldn't say ever, but I have a small position. I'm not selling it. Unless I might reconsider that if it goes below. If it closes below 377, I might just give up.
Really?
I mean, you got to give up sometime.
I guess so. These are the things I have to learn from you, because once I buy something, it's hard for me to sell.
Sometimes you got to wave the white flag and surrender.
Right. Give up.
Hit the X in the chat. Hit the thumbs up and pop the chat back open. Confucius helping out Catherine or somebody.
Yeah, no, they have a nice conversation going while you're doing charts. It's part of the fun of the show.
Catherine is in BNGO in a big way, right, Catherine? Yeah. And BNGO is competitor of TXG. TXG, if you look at the chart, is how to run from like 0 to 116. And Catherine's hoping for that with BNGO. They sell genetic, I don't know exactly what they sell, but they sell 2 other companies, genetic companies. TXG is an interesting one, but I'm not going to chart it.
Yeah, no, our charting minutes are over. Catherine says bingo down, but love that tech.
Yeah, that tech is similar to TXG, but they're penny stock. So who knows? Heath has got something to say. And Callum from St. Louis, SPPI is a beautiful swing trade up to Purdue.
Yeah, well, gonna have to start writing these down.
Heath, you're never looking stupid.
Exactly. One thing I learned reading all these comments and then the stock twits and stuff like that, everybody thinks that they're the worst timers in the market.
I'll tell you.
When of course that's not true, because I am.
I will honestly tell you honestly, that there's nobody that follows us that is stupid. They're smart just to follow us.
That's right.
The vibration that makes them smart.
And they know how to spend their time.
They know how to spend their time. And I give them all credit. And I truly respect everyone on the chat. And I've followed them as much as they've followed me, maybe more. So I've gotten great ideas from them.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
None of this gets created in a vacuum. That's why we like our friends.
Catherine compares BNGO to Illumina and Oxford. TXG, I forget what they stand for. I hope I got the symbol.
I had to run down to my other office, so I don't have my
I'm going to take a quick look at TXG. I just want to make sure I got it right, TXG. I think they're $116 a share. I think I got the symbol right. TXG. Oh, what's different? Because I got it wrong. I'm going to call it a night.
Yeah, okay. This was fun.
Catherine,
Again, I apologize about the tech.
You're an old lady that loves tech. I'm an old man who loves tech.
And I'm an old guy who hates tech, but is stuck with it.
All right. When is Walmart going to be called a tech company? That's what I want to know.
Very, very soon, especially if they buy TikTok with Microsoft.
Yeah.
And you heard the news this week about them trying to be competitive with Amazon Prime. That's got to work for them.
It's like a nice pop, so I'll take it. Walmart has become, I think it's my single biggest position.
That's your blue chip. Since General Electric and General Motors doesn't count anymore.
All right, guys. So have a great week.
All right. Great week, everybody. This was fun.
By the way, as always, do your own due diligence. Did we say that? Do your own due diligence?
No, we didn't do that. Actually, it was requested that we do that after we made a couple people broke.
Do your own due diligence and always check with the investment advisor. And our opinions are strictly our own, especially mine and Professor Spike.
Right. And my opinions are Dr. J's.
Some of you guys in the chat, maybe they're not your own. Maybe you got them from some hot shop. I don't know. All right, anyway, we're going to call it a night.
Yep.
Love you guys. Thanks for following. See you all on Friday.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you, Spike.
Bye-bye.
What about subscribing? I guess they know that.